Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a service you've asked us about called TorBox. It's being marketed as, this big revolutionary platform that's supposed to merge everything, premium file hosts, torrent streaming all into one place. So our mission here is to really just unpack the claims versus the reality, especially for those of you who might be using something like Real-Debrid and are maybe looking around. Oh, let's get into it.
Yeah, and you have to look at the context here. I mean, it's really important. Our sources show TorBox popped up right after European authorities started cracking down hard on similar services.
Ah, so there was a vacuum.
A huge vacuum. And, well, TorBox is very clearly trying to fill that void.
And they're trying to do it by being the single solution, right? Their whole identity is being this all-in-one cloud platform. It covers torrents, file hosters, and even Usenet.
Usenet, yeah, which is kind of the, older, more structured cousin to torrenting.
They're casting a really wide net.
They are. And what's fascinating to me is how they're handling the privacy angle, which is obviously a huge concern in this space. They claim to operate out of South Africa.
Okay.
And they promise no logging, no tracking, strong privacy protections. Plus, they say they use a global CDN, a content delivery network, to keep speeds up everywhere.
Right. So let's talk about the pricing structure, because I think that's the main hook for a lot of people.
It is.
They have a free tier with unlimited downloads, but it's capped at a 10 gig file size. Then the paid plans are super competitive. I'm seeing $3, $5, and $10 a month.
But here's the really disruptive part. The thing that changes the game. It's their rule on account sharing.
Oh, right.
Unlike almost everyone else who blocks you for using multiple IPs, TorBox just doesn't. They explicitly allow it. For groups of users, I mean, that feature alone is a massive deal.
So you could split an account with friends, no problem.
Exactly. But when you look at the user experience, that's where things get a little divided. The sources point out that while a lot of Trustpilot reviews love the interface, they say it's sleek, modern, fast, the overall feeling is that the service is still, finding its feet.
Yeah, I saw that anecdote. One user said it was actually better than Real-Debrid for what they needed. They even said the support team was really responsive.
Right, so for some people, it's already there.
But the very fact that people feel the need to say it's not a scam tells you something. It's like users are holding their breath, just waiting to see if it's going to stick around.
And that connects to the bigger picture. There's always a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
The critical limitation here is the cache. It's just smaller.
Okay, so break that down. What does that actually mean for a user?
Well, think of Real-Debrid as this huge established library with almost every book you could want already on the shelf instantly. TorBox is more like a brand new branch.
So it has the hot new releases right away.
Exactly. But if you ask for something that's a bit older, maybe from last year, you might have to wait while they go and find it for you.
But doesn't that sort of defeat the purpose? I mean, if you save a couple bucks a month but have to wait hours or even days for something that isn't instantly cached, is that really a win?
That's the million-dollar question. Your performance is going to swing wildly depending on what you're trying to get and how busy the servers are.
So you're basically a beta tester.
You are essentially beta testing a really promising service that just hasn't hit the reliability of the big guys yet. You're trading that rock-solid reliability for a lower price and, well, those privacy claims.
So that's the core conflict then. TorBox has cheaper prices, great features like that unrestricted account sharing, but it comes with all these growing pains, this volatility.
The smaller cache, yep.
So for you, the listener, the real question becomes, when do those benefits actually outweigh the potential frustration?
And it all comes down to your personal tolerance for that volatility. How much reliability are you actually willing to give up for a few dollars off your bill and some strong privacy promises? That's really the calculation you have to make before you decide to jump in.